This podcast is part of the It Was a Thing on TV podcast network.
An anthology on the bad, the short-lived, and the forgotten shows and events in television history. You are listening to It Was a Thing on TV.
No, that's it. I'm not modeling anymore for the two of you. Well, I guess I just had my first taste of the filthy side of this business. Need I remind you, sirs, I am a male model, not a male prostitute.
Episode 614, submission number 82. Joey. Joey aired on NBC from September 9th, 2004 to August 23rd, 2006 for 46 episodes over 2 seasons. Living in New York City on a barista's salary, getting into crazy adventures, and on screen and off, the chemistry was palpable. They found a way to make living in New York relatable. And if you're a Gen Xer of a certain age, you can't help but relate to these characters. Let's see, there's museum docent and serial monogamist Ross and his unrequited love for his sister Monica's best friend Rachel. Rachel and Monica's other best friend, a cloud cuckoo lander by the name of Phoebe. Monica's on-again, off-again boyfriend Chandler, and his roommate, a struggling actor by the name of Joey Tribbiani. And after 10 seasons, it was time to end the story. Monica and Chandler start a family. Rachel and Ross end up together. Phoebe marries the boyfriend she was seeing at the time, and that just left Joey. NBC, at this moment in history, had a plan. They ordered the spinoff for Joey at a pivotal time. This was before they began the 10th and final season of Friends. And at that time, they were looking for something to bridge the gap to the next generation of must-see TV. They couldn't do Frasier anymore. They were without Seinfeld. Whatever they put on at 9:30 was never going to work. From the mind of Jeff Zucker, who has a history of
Hold on, let Greg get the laughter out.
I couldn't say that with a straight face.
From the mind of Jeff Zucker. I shudder to think what goes on in that man's mind.
At the beginning of the 10th season, he announced that Joey was going to have his own spinoff upon the conclusion of Friends. He entertains the thought of maybe giving the spinoff to Monica and Chandler or Rachel and Ross, but, and this is Kevin Bright talking, Kevin Bright with David Crane and Marta Kaufman, the creative team behind Friends. While they were grateful for doing the show, this is Monica and Chandler and Rachel and Ross, they didn't want to play those parts anymore. Around the same time, he would order a pilot for the US version of Coupling, in a move best filed under hedging your bets.
And for all that information about Coupling, just go back in the archives and listen to the episode about that.
So we have a familiar character in a new surroundings, or new characters in familiar surroundings. Back to Joey. The pilot was helmed by 1/3 of the Friends creative, we mentioned him, Kevin Bright, teaming up with producers Scott Silveri and Shayna Goldberg-Meehan, featuring the character moving to Los Angeles to chase his dream of acting beyond his role of Dr. Drake Ramore on Days of Our Lives. While in Hollywood, Joey would reunite with his hairdresser sister Gina and her genius son Michael, while forming new bonds with fellow aspiring actor Zach Miller and building superintendent and eventual love interest Alex Garrett. Matt LeBlanc. He reprises his friend's role as Joey Tribbiani. He was toned down a bit, though. Remember, he was carefree, a little footloose, a little loose on Friends. This owes to the fact that he's living with family and not his friends anymore. Matt LeBlanc would go on to feature on Episodes, which is the name of the show, Episodes, and a bit of serendipity created by David Crane of Friends and his partner Jeffrey Cleric in a virtual up yours to NBC and anyone and everyone involved with coupling.
And let's be honest, if anyone deserves a roast back, it's Jeff Zucker.
Greg, tell us how you really feel.
Oh, yeah. What else do I have to say about Jeff Zucker? Oh, hold on a second. Guys.
This is CNN Breaking News.
Red Panda's performing at halftime of the Big Ten women's basketball tournament right now.
I love Red Panda.
They just showed her in the background during the studio stuff.
I was going to ask why you're watching the Big Ten women's basketball tournament, but okay, so you're not watching it. You're watching something else, and it happens to be in the background of in the studio or whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay. Gonna have to possibly check out your man card if you're admitting watching women's Big Ten basketball.
Hold on, I'm a member of the Sickos Committee. That means I'll watch any freaking college sports. You know that.
Wait, Greg. I did not know that this is sort of one of the things that goes with the territory as to being part of the Sickos Committee, that you'll watch any old sport. Seriously, did not understand this.
Any old college sport you have to watch.
Any?
Yeah.
Any? So seriously, if they have, let's say, college wrestling on. Now, mind you, Greg, just to clear the air,
it's not that wrestling.
It's not that wrestling, right? But still, you'd watch that.
Sure.
You'd watch track and field.
Sure.
I'm trying to find your breaking point. You do realize that. Now, you see, I could see you watching gymnastics. There's nothing wrong with that. Plus, they're very talented young ladies. You'd watch collegiate fencing?
Look, you can't doubt the talent these fencers have, Mike.
You really would watch any damn college sport. Wow.
Okay, let's continue talking about how much we love making fun of Jeff Zucker. What a piece of shit that guy is. And now he doesn't have a job anymore.
Gina Tribbiani, Joey's sister, played by the lovely and talented Drea De Matteo, best known for her Emmy-winning role as Adriana La Cerva in The Sopranos, as well as roles in Sons of Anarchy and Desperate Housewives. Landlady and ditzy lawyer Alex Garrett, played by Andrea Anders, whose resume includes Modern Family and a lot of shows that were canceled after one season. Her character replaces Allison, who is played by Ashley Scott from Birds of Prey. That is the WB show, not the movie.
Okay, Greg, I got another one for you. Would you actually watch rowing? Collegiate rowing? I think I know what the answer is going to be, and I think I understand the justification you're going to use, but would you watch and take collegiate rowing seriously?
Yes, I would.
Okay. I think I know why, if you want to expound upon that.
The talent they have to row those anchors.
Row those anchors? Where? Oh my gosh. They're not... Yeah.
Oars, whatever. Anchors, oars.
Okay, but I was going to say, you're not rowing with anchors because the anchors are holding the boats in place.
Okay.
This isn't some sort of luxury cruise or Sunday cruise down the East River or something. This is really competitive.
Now hold on, Mike.
But no.
What if we had hold on? What if we had rowing at the East River? Would you watch that?
No.
Oh well, then you don't know freaking great television when you see it.
I thought you would justify watching rowing because in your neck of the woods, kind of, sort of, think how big rowing was with Yale and Harvard back in the day. That was the first collegiate sport before football and everything else. I thought maybe you might enjoy collegiate rowing because of the historical aspect. Instead, you think they row with anchors. You said it, not me.
Like I said, anchors, oars, it's the same damn thing. But did you see in the Gritty calendar, he took a picture of himself shirtless while rowing?
That's the justification. Okay.
Like, isn't that impressive to you? Shirtless Gritty was rowing with his orange fur everywhere.
Sure.
All right, let's get back to this.
Yeah,
Chica.
save us.
Aerospace engineer and hopeless romantic Michael Tribbiani, that is Gina's son, Michael Tribbiani, played by Paolo Costanzo, best known for his role as Evan Lawson in Royal Pains. Nowadays, he can be seen as Mateo in the recently wrapped Prime Video series Upload. And Roberta Bobby Morgenstern, Joey's agent and the 12th most powerful woman in Hollywood, according to Entertainment Weekly, is played by Jennifer Coolidge. I could mention roles in Secret Life of the American Teenager, Two Broke Girls, The White Lotus, and The Watcher. But all I really need to say are two words: Stifler's mom. And then we have two additional characters in season 2. Zach Miller, a fellow struggling actor, played by Miguel A. Nunez Jr. I could mention roles in Automan, Tour of Duty, Sparks, The Family Business, and the Street Fighter movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Raul Julia. But all I really have to say is Joanna Man.
Yes!
Rounding out the cast as neighbor and friend, Howard Peckerman is actor, comic producer Ben Falcone, who can be seen in blink and you'll miss it cameos of his wife Melissa McCarthy's movies. Now, Robert Costanzo, who played Joey's dad, Joey Sr. on Friends, will make an appearance in the same role on this series. Episode 1, The Pilot. Joey moves to Los Angeles to try his luck in Hollywood. His nephew Michael is thinking about living with him to get out of his mother's house. Joey's sister Gina. Nancy O'Dell, of Access Hollywood fame, makes an appearance as herself. Episode 2, Joey and the Student. When Joey plans to teach Michael how to pick up women, Gina invites herself along, even though the guys don't want her to come. Joey finds out that Alex is the one who has been placing complaint notes about everything he does and that everyone hates her because of this. Episode 3, Joey and the Party. Joey and Michael plan a party with the hopes that Joey makes a new friend. Michael's college rival announces he'll be showing up with his girlfriend. Michael tries to compete by enlisting the help of Alex to play his fake girlfriend. Couple names in this episode. Playing said rival, Seth, Simon Helberg, Wolowitz from The Big Bang Theory. And playing his date, Molly, Jayma Mays.
Oh, from Glee.
Episode 4, Joey and the Book Club. To woo a girl in his book club, Michael assigns a romantic novel to the group. However, when he tries to make his move, he finds out that she is already in love with Joey.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, here comes trouble.
Meanwhile, Gina makes a deal with Alex in order to get more work. Playing Diane is Charlene Amoya, and playing Lloyd is Marshall Manesh. Charlene Amoya is Wendy the waitress on How I Met Your Mother.
Oh.
And Marshall Manesh is the gang's chauffeur, Ranjit, from How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, damn, Ranjit.
I have a question. You said that in this book club, they're reading a romance novel?
Michael suggests a romance novel.
Okay. I'm glad you clarified that because I don't know much about Joey, and full disclosure, I have never seen an episode of Friends, and I have never seen an episode of Joey, and I don't plan on seeing an episode of either of them anytime in the near future. When I see Joey, and maybe this is more of a Matt LeBlanc thing than a Joey thing, he does not come across as the type who would read a romance novel. And the reason I say that, Matt LeBlanc, back 1990-ish, and we actually talked about this. He was the son on Top of the Heap, the spinoff of Married with Children that we covered. Oh gosh, this had to be 5 years ago at this point. He was not the most literate of people. He was more street smart than anything else. He would not be caught with a book unless maybe it was a coloring book or maybe a car repair manual. Again, maybe it's just me transferring my memories of Matt LeBlanc 35 years ago as being an absolute meathead to this other character that I'm not saying he's not a meathead, but again, I just can't see him being the overly literate type.
This would be like me if saying, oh, well, I can't picture Charles Russell having a roommate like Matt LeBlanc. You see, I went with a second chance reference there, huh? You'd expect that.
Episode 5, Joey and the Perfect Storm. When Joey gets the job of understudying in 3 different plays, it leaves him in a tight spot when all 3 main actors call in sick.
What? Now, hold on. How rare is it to be the understudy in 3 different plays, and by coincidence, all 3 of them get sick at the same time?
About as rare as affording a New York City apartment on a barista's salary. Meanwhile, there's a vacant apartment in the complex, and Joey, Michael, and Alex try to hide it from Gina.
We have a name in this episode, not a big name, but oh, sit back, you're going to enjoy this connection. Playing a character named Tim, who I'm guessing is one of those understudies, is a gentleman by the name of Mitch Silpa. 99% of people in society don't know Mitch Silpa. Guess what? I'm that 1%. Because Mitch Silpa, back, I want to say 1980, maybe it was 79, he was a contestant on Card Sharks during one of their teen weeks around Christmas, and he ended up breaking the bank to the tune of like $22,200.
You know what my reaction to that is? Cool.
Episode 6, Joey and the Nemesis. An actor named Brian Michael David Scott repeatedly tricks Joey into missing auditions. When Michael gets sick, Gina moves into Joey's place to take care of him, and Joey moves to Gina's place to get away from them. However, when staying at Gina's, her secret boyfriend mistakes Joey for her and snuggles up to him. Playing Brian Michael David Scott, Bob Odenkirk.
And you all know what he's done.
Yeah, he did Mr. Show.
And Better Call Saul. Episode 7, Joey and the Husband. Alex tells Joey that her husband may be threatened by him. When Joey finally meets Alex's husband, Eric, he's stunned when Eric is not threatened by him. Joey decides to donate his savings to Gina so that she can open up her own salon, but she has second thoughts. Episode 8, Joey and the Dream Girl, Part 1. Gina's high school friend Donna, whom Joey used to have a huge crush on, visits. Joey promises Gina he won't do anything with Donna, who is getting a divorce, but cannot resist.
Oh, Joey, no, don't do that.
Michael learns he used to be a great baseball player when he was younger. Playing Donna DiGregorio, the object of Joey's desire, Kelly Preston.
Oh, R.I.P.
Part 2 is episode 9, Joey tries to plan the perfect week for Donna so she will choose him over her husband, who is attempting to reconcile with her. Meanwhile, Alex discovers that she can get free stuff because she is a quote-unquote hot girl.
Well, makes sense.
Playing the ex-husband Ron, Danny Nucci from 911.
Sounds like a hot Italian dish. Danny Nucci!
Episode 10, Joey and the Big Audition. At Alex's Northwestern alumni party, Joey is mistaken for a fellow alumnus by a movie producer. This helps him get an audition for a new show called Deep Powder, described as Baywatch on skis.
Ooh.
However, Joey soon finds out that the audition is not for the lead character, but for the lead's father.
Oh.
Ooh.
Woo! Now, Mike, you were reacting to the fact that I was reacting about Baywatch on skis, and you were like, ooh.
Baywatch on skis is just something that's so stupid that it could be real. But also, I was actually hoping that when Chico said he wasn't auditioning to be the lead on this Baywatch on skis, he's auditioning to be the father. I really was hoping that Chico was going to say he thought he was auditioning to be the main character, but he is actually auditioning to be like a drowned corpse or something, like a victim of like being sucked into a tide or something like that.
It's a freaking ski resort. How can you get sucked into a tide, Mike?
I'm thinking more the Baywatch part, being on a beach or on the ocean, more than being at a resort.
Maybe it could be the corpse in an avalanche.
As the casting director who discovers Joey, Mindy Sterling.
Oh, Frau from Austin Powers.
And playing a guy by the name of Lance, Lawrence H. Toffler.
Oh, are we talking about that Lawrence H. Toffler?
That guy!
That Larry Toffler, who was also a contestant on Greed?
And where else do we know him from, Greg?
Oh, the syndicated version of Finders Keepers.
That's great. So now we actually have two connections to people who were contestants on game shows previously in their lives. One from 25 years earlier, and now one from 4 years earlier. This is beautiful. I wonder what past game show contestant is going to appear in future episodes. Who knows? Let's go for the trifecta. You know these things happen in threes.
Episode 11, Joey and the Road Trip. Joey gets a job as a celebrity judge for the Miss Southwestern USA pageant in Las Vegas. There he sleeps with a woman, not realizing she's... Oh my god!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Meanwhile, Alex goes to a Celine Dion concert and Michael teaches Gina how to count cards. Playing the pit boss, Steve Sharuppa. And playing himself, Bob Saget.
Wouldn't it have been great if he told the aristocrats joke at the beauty contest? I'm sure it would have been a real winner.
Greg, that is a brilliant observation. I need to give you credit.
Playing one of the contestants, Miss Reno, Lanisha Cole.
So does that make 3, Mike?
She's not a contestant, though. She was a model. She was the talent.
Episode 12, Joey and the Plot Twist. At a press conference for Deep Powder, Joey accidentally reveals a plot twist, leading him to believe his character will get killed off in the first episode. Meanwhile, when the California heat makes it hard for Joey to get in the holiday spirit, Gina, Michael, and Alex decorate Joey's apartment for Christmas. Playing Gunner, a character/actor on Deep Powder, Colby Donaldson.
From Survivor? How many years after Survivor would this have been? What, 3 years?
Yes.
I think I'll give it a qualified yes as to this is the third. I'm not a big Survivor as a game show person, but we could argue that for a long time. So I'll give you a qualified yes there. We found our third, but damn it, I'm going to try harder to find a legit third.
What if we have a second third, Mike?
Then that would be the fourth. Or we could remove Colby Donaldson.
No. I mean, a second 3-pack. We could have 2 3-packs. Is it unprecedented? We could have like a 6-pack.
I think you're trying too hard there. I think we should be happy with 3, and if we get any more than 3, that's just a good bonus.
Well, you're not thinking. We have like 30 more episodes, Mike. We got plenty of time to get to it. We can get 3 more. Yep. Don't lose faith.
Episode 13, Joey and the Taste Test. After Gina teaches Alex how to make lasagna, Joey and Michael are forced to partake in a taste test. Joey's relationship with his co-star Katie gets him in trouble with the executive producer. Playing Lauren Beck, I believe she might be the executive producer, Lucy Liu. Episode 14, Joey and the Premiere. Joey brings Gina, Michael, and Alex to the premiere of Deep Powder. Gina's date is Lauren's ex-boyfriend, and Alex's date is a lesbian. Michael must decide between a girl and a Star Trek actor, and Joey kisses Lauren. Lucy Liu returns as Lauren, Colby Donaldson returns as Gunnar, and playing himself, Brent Spiner.
Now hold on, Mike. Brent Spiner was on an episode of To Tell the Truth in the 1970s. So you know what? That's one of our 3-pack. So we need 2 more and we'll have a 6-pack, Mike.
I really didn't think you were going to mention Brent Spiner in that capacity. I was really hoping you're going to talk about how on the original Night Court, he was an occasional character as sort of I don't want to use this term, but sort of a backwoods redneck type.
Beth Littleford makes an appearance as a character by the name of Carla, she of The Daily Show, and playing a character by the name of Martin Jeff B. Davis from Whose Line? Episode 15, Joey and the Assistant. Joey hires an assistant named Glenn who turns out to be perfect. However, after he begins dating Gina, things start to go downhill. Meanwhile, Alex holds a mediation between Michael and his friend Seth over a patent dispute. Simon Helberg returns as Seth, but playing Glenn, Richard Ruccolo, who we talked about on previous entry, Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place.
And we just talked about the pizza place. We didn't give a shit about the show after that. Just the pizza place.
Episode 16, Joey and the Tonight Show.
All right, Mike, you're going to cue it up. All right, you ready?
I don't know what I'm queuing up, but okay.
You're queuing up the Mr. Blackboard, silly.
Oh, well, I thought you were talking about something else. Yes, we know that. Yeah. Yes, Greg, I know.
Joey is supposed to appear on the Tonight Show with
Mr. Black,
but gets stuck in heavy traffic. In traffic, Michael ends up stuck next to a guy he gave the finger to, and Gina meets 2 guys. Playing Kyle, Antonio Sabato Jr. from The Bold and the Beautiful and Melrose Place.
It should be mentioned that also in this episode, if you couldn't tell, was Mr. Black. Yeah, I actually appeared in Joey. Shut you talentless hack.
Episode 17, Joey and the Valentine's Date. Joey unintentionally makes a date with a People magazine reporter on Valentine's Day, which causes her to believe Joey is looking for a serious relationship. Meanwhile, a drunken Alex reveals sexual secrets to Gina, and Michael becomes one of the girls after an attempt to hit on a group of girls. Episode 18, Joey and the Wrong Name. Joey is nominated for a Daytime Soap Award, and he is also presenting an award, but ends up announcing the wrong name.
Oh, so he had he had
a La La Land Moonlight thing, yes.
Yeah, 13 years before it happened.
He brings Gina, who is uncomfortable because she's forced by Joey to dress unlike herself. Playing Kimberly, Julia Duffy, Stephanie from Newhart. Playing Mariska, Shanna Mokler. I believe this is right before she left the WWE. And playing a character just named the Trashy Woman, Annie Wood from Buzz. Episode 19, Joey and the Fancy Sister. Joey's sister Mary Teresa, whom Gina dislikes, comes to visit. When Mary Teresa discovers her engagement ring is fake, she decides to call off her wedding and stay in LA, causing Joey and Gina to try and find a way to get her to move back to New York State. Meanwhile, Michael is oblivious that a girl likes him. Playing Mary Teresa, Christina Ricci, Wednesday Addams from the Addams Family movies.
And now in Yellow Jackets.
Richard Ruccolo is back as Glenn, but playing Joelle, the girl that Michael cannot believe is interested in him. Rachel Blanchard, Clueless, Are You Afraid of the Dark, Flight of the Conchords. Episode 20, Joey and the Neighbor. Joey starts to date his new hot next-door neighbor Sarah, but he forgets to cancel his backup date on the same day. Eric is back for the first time in 2 months, but Alex and he have problems after being apart for so long. Playing Sarah, Machen Amik.
Oh, yes, from Twin Peaks. And Riverdale.
Episode 21, Joey and the Spying. Even though Joey and Sarah agree to see other people, Joey realizes he cares too much about her. Alex and Eric separate, leading Eric to move into the apartment next door. Alex sees Eric with another woman and spies on him. Gina wants to break up with Glenn and tells him the reason is because Michael doesn't like him, causing Glenn to try to become closer with Michael. Joey and the Temptation is episode 22. Joey and Sarah become exclusive, but Joey has a love scene with Carmen Electra for Deep Powder. Joey brings Michael along to help him resist her, and Alex finds out Eric kissed another woman.
Now, hold on. Mike was turning his head in the corner. I thought he was going to go get his pile of eugenics there when we mentioned Carmen Electra.
No, I was getting a certain somebody to help us out, because I was going to say, who's in this episode? And I was going to go to Super Bizarro Whammy and say, did you hear who's on the episode? Yes, I did. I heard Jenny McCarthy's on this episode. Okay, Super Bizarro Whammy, you're not as good as the original Bizarro Whammy, so I'm going to tell you, just tone it down a little bit.
What a piss poor imitation of me, Mike.
I'm not imitating you. I'm doing my own character. Super Bizarro Whammy.
Oh, Lord. Let's go.
Hold on. Does he have a backwards S like Superman? Like a backwards ass dollar sign?
No, I've got the Second Chance logo on my back.
Bullshit you do. I see the back of you, Super Bizarro Whammy.
Super Bizarro Whammy.
What kind of a dumb... Okay, Bizarro Whammy, I'll admit, is a dumb character. But Mike, you just invented maybe an even dumber character than that.
What can I say? I'm constantly lowering the bar around here.
Oh, well, I thought I was. But...
Well, you know, maybe Bizarro Whammy should have jumped in and said, hey, I wonder who's playing Carmen Electra in this episode. Is it Jenny McCarthy? But no, we had to bring in Super Bizarro Whammy for this one special instance.
Well, hold on. Does Super Bizarro Whammy know Super Goldman from that one commercial?
Oh, God.
Episode 23, Joey and the Breakup. Joey helps Sarah get an interview with Newsweek, but she gets offered a job in Washington, D.C. Gina meets Michael's new girlfriend, who turns out to be a much older woman. Meanwhile, Alex struggles with her divorce, and Gina tries to cheer her up. Final episode of Season 1, Joey and the Moving In. Joey freaks out after asking Sarah to move in with him. Alex doesn't know how to act on her first date after her divorce, and Bobby gives Michael tickets to a Star Wars preview but shows up as well, which leads Gina to confront Bobby about her behavior around Michael.
Well, the timing makes sense because this is May 2005 when episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, came out.
And that's season 1. We started out with 18 million viewers. And then by the time we get to May, we're down to 8.5 million. So the numbers themselves aren't bad. It's enough for NBC to give Joey a second look. But obviously, NBC being NBC at the time, they're going to insist on some changes. They all come to meet in season 2, episodes 1 and 2, Joey and the Big Break. Things become awkward between Joey and Alex after having sex.
You know what my response is? Uh-oh.
Oh, jeez.
Due to Joey's popularity on Deep Powder, Bobby makes some outrageous demands, leading to him being fired. Gina starts working for Bobby, and a young aspiring actress moves into the complex and thinks Michael is Joey. Hearing voices in his head causes Joey to blow a couple of auditions. Gina gets to tell everyone bad news for Bobby. Michael wants Joey to go on a double date with him, and Alex wants Joey to take her on a romantic date so she feels better about sleeping with him. Playing himself, Kevin Smith.
Wow, what a surprise. Kevin Smith was playing himself and not Silent Bob?
I don't think Silent Bob would necessarily fly in this type of setting.
Well, how would you know, Mike?
I've seen Clerks, and I've seen Clerks the cartoon, and I've seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I've got an idea. I think it's not going to work out that well. You see, I don't have to have seen Joey to understand that Silent Bob wouldn't work in this situation. I just know based on my knowledge of Jay and Silent Bob.
But Silent Bob's not the one who's talking. It's Jay who's the one who's talking. And Jay's the one you have to worry about, not Silent Bob.
I understand that, but I still don't see him necessarily working out in this environment. But yes, you do have to worry about Jay as well because, you know, you're going to have him doing snooch to the nooch all over the place.
Episode 3, Joey and the Spanking. Oh my.
Oh, jeez, I don't even want to know what this is about.
Hey, Greg, you remember you had the last episode where they were talking about him having sex? I think we might need to put an here.
Hey, Rock, what's your feelings about this?
Joey must deal with an unruly child actor on the set of his new movie. In order to discipline him, Joey spanks him. Meanwhile, Gina helps Alex meet a guy so she can get over Joey. Playing Benjamin Lockwood, John Larroquette from both versions of Night Court.
And I think we're going to talk about him soon because I do believe in the next month or two, we're going to be talking about Black Sheep Squadron.
Or as I like to refer to it as, Baba Black Sheep. Which, as we all know from Jeopardy 1989 on SNL, was the longest running show on television in 1999. Oh, what is Baba Black Sheep?
Again, you just absolutely nailed it there. Beautiful. We do have one more name in this episode, playing a character named Chris of the female persuasion. Rachel Quaintance. You may remember her back, 15 years ago at this point. She was one of the talking heads that popped up quite a bit on I Love the 80s, I Love the 90s, all those different shows that VH1 did back in the day. You know, I love toys, I love this, I love that. She was one of those talking heads. But also, Greg, we do have a legit third game show contestant, so we can get rid of Colby Donaldson and the ambiguity of Survivor, because Rachel Quaintance was on Millionaire in 2000 as a civilian.
Well, hold on, Mike. This now makes 5. So if we count Brent Spiner and Colby Donaldson, we're one away from the 6-pack, Mike.
Okay, so we got 3 legit and 2 sort of tenuous. So we might be able to get a 6-pack, 3 of each type. I'm sure we may get there.
Episode 28. Joey and the Stuntman. Joey's stuntman shadows him to learn his mannerisms. Abby, the script supervisor at the movie set who nags Joey to memorize his lines, dates Michael, which annoys Joey. A photo of Joey and Alex appears in Us magazine, and Alex freaks out after Joey lets her tell the magazine what their relationship status is. Playing said stuntman, guy by the name of Chuck, Dan Cortez.
Remember him back in the day on MTV? He was supposed to be their next big thing like 30 years ago.
Hey, I just remember that sweet-ass jacket he wore in that one episode of Seinfeld.
Episode 29. Joey in the house. Joey thinks about buying a new house because of the amount of money he's making from his new movie. After helping Bobby with anger management, Alex learns that she too has anger because of her relationship with Joey. Playing Margaret Bly, Betty White.
Now hold on, Mike. Does that technically make 6 or no?
Explain how you're going to justify this.
It's Betty White.
She was a celebrity partner. She really was not like a central character on To Tell the Truth or stuck on Vanuatu for 42 days. I think it's a different class.
Would it be something though if she was on Survivor? Let's be quite honest, Mike.
Don't be mean to her.
I'm not being mean to her.
You're putting her on an island. For frig's sake, she was what, like 85 years old at this point, or 83?
Hold on. What if her character from the Golden Girls was on the island, and then she
oh Lord,
banged somebody to death, like that one episode?
Okay, I really thought you were going to get into, well, back at St. Olaf, when we were stuck on an island, I seriously thought you were going to do a St. Olaf reference.
And then there's a character by the name of Leonard, played by Tim Bagley, who you remember as Dwight from Strip Mall, with Julie Brown, Loretta Fox, Jonathan Mangum, and Chris Wilde.
And that son of a bitch Charles Logan, 24.
Episode 30, Joey in the ESL. Joey follows a girl into an English as a second language class. After losing a client for Bobby, Gina tries to sign Joey's co-star, Benjamin Lockwood, which irritates Joey. John Larroquette returns as Benjamin Lockwood. Rachel Quaintance returns as Chris, but playing Ms. Lafferty, Bo Collins from Mad TV. Episode 31, Joey and the Poker. Joey and Alex play poker, but Alex lets Joey win, so he'll continue to play with her. Because of this, he decides to play in Celebrity Poker Showdown. Meanwhile, Zach tries to get Joey to donate to a children's recreation center. So let's see who's at the table with Joey here. We have Dave Foley, Phil Gordon, Louis Anderson, Coolio, Cindy Margolis, and Alan Thicke.
Hey guys, it's me. Hey, you want to know something, guys? When I shot this episode, you know what Louis said? My chances of winning isn't up there. Oh!
My God, Alan Thicke just did his Louis Anderson impression. I've heard it all. This actually may go down as one of the absolute goofiest episodes ever. We had Super Bizarre Whammy, and now we just had Alan Thicke doing his Louis Anderson impersonation. Oh my gosh. Oh, I should also clear up, Chico may not have seen Celebrity Poker Showdown back in the day, but Phil Gordon didn't actually play at the table. He was the sidekick to Dave Foley in the hosting realm.
Well, you know something, guys? Coolio, Joey, and Cindy Margolis, they've never been in my kitchen. That's really great, Alan. Thank you for letting us know.
There is one more name that I want to mention because I remember her quite well back in the day. Playing Candace in this episode is Valerie Aslin from, One of my favorite shows from about 15 years ago, I've mentioned this in the past, Sullivan and Son.
She also played Piper on season 2 of the Joe Schmo Show, if you remember that far back.
Oh, that's right. I do remember Piper. She was the quote unquote contestant, the female contestant who was looking for love, if I recall correctly.
Episode 32, Joey and the sex tape. Oh boy. Joey tries to prevent a woman from releasing a sex tape of him.
Oh, no, nobody wants to see this.
No.
How you doing?
Could you imagine the porn parody of the sex tape?
I'll be bare for you. Oh my god, I can't have
Damn it! Oh my gosh! Somebody save us! I'll be bare for you.
This man has not seen an episode of Friends in his life, ladies and gentlemen.
But I know the theme song, and I know the open, and good heavens, I don't want to know what they're doing on that sex tape with those umbrellas. Nobody ever told you life would be that way. Okay.
Those aren't hands clapping. Anyway.
Oh,
they're
fuck.
butt cheeks that are clapping. That's
cheeks.
right, Chico. Butt cheeks clapping. Boom, 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 boom.
Okay, let me clarify. Mike said it, not me. I didn't say it. I didn't say a damn thing. So don't
Greg was
blame
here.
me.
Greg was here praying for us, is what he was doing.
That's what I was doing.
Meanwhile, Gina discovers Bobby has no plans for her 40th birthday. Playing herself, Ellen DeGeneres. Episode 33, Joey and the Musical. Joey and Zach direct a musical starring Gloria, Joey's girlfriend's grandmother. Alex writes a letter to Joey as a way to vent her anger, but Joey reads it and thinks it's about Eric. Meanwhile, Bobby's mother wants a part in the musical. Playing Gloria, Nancy Linehan Charles. She played Peg, a recurring character on 19 episodes of Young Sheldon. Episode 34, Joey and the Bachelor Thanksgiving. Despite Gina spending a lot of time planning Thanksgiving dinner, Joey decides to go to his bachelor neighbor Dean's party instead. Joey finds ancient Native American artifacts in his backyard and accidentally gives them away.
Oh, he's cursed. You can't remove artifacts from their natural habitat. He's going to be cursed forever. Hey, he's already been cursed. He's been on a second season of Joey.
And I thought being cursed by Danhausen was bad.
You are cursed!
Playing Dean, Gregory Harrison, Gonzo on Trapper John. Playing himself, George Hamilton.
Given how tan he is he playing the role of the Thanksgiving turkey after having been in the oven for 8 hours at 400 degrees? Get that nice little golden sheen on the skin.
Now, hold on, Mike. He might have gotten some, experience, some method acting before he got to play the Colonel.
Good point.
Yeah. And by the way, Mike, I do have a George Hamilton signed card and a Leaf Pop Century set that I got a couple months ago.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah. Hey, it's not quite those Leaf presidential cards that have those weird-ass combos. Like Dominic Hasek and Bill Clinton.
And playing Ray, Branscombe Richmond. Bobby Sixcolor from Renegade.
And do I really have to fill in the gap here?
Yes, you do. Because I'm blanking.
He was also Bobby 4 Killer and for a brief moment Bobby 5 Killer.
Oh, I keep forgetting that.
The math just adds up there. He's got a body count. Well, I'm not even going to talk about body counts given the connotation nowadays, but his body count in that regard was 6.
Episode 35, Joey and the high school friend. Joey's best friend from high school, Jimmy, visits. Turns out their friendship abruptly ended because Gina was secretly sleeping with him. The crew from Joey's movie used chocolate milk as code for marijuana, but Joey thinks they're actually talking about chocolate milk. And Joey thinks Jimmy is Michael's father. Episode 36, Joey and the Tijuana trip. Joey and the guys go to Tijuana after Michael breaks up with Abby. After Dean catches Alex's lifestyle, she and Gina go to a party to have fun. Playing Albert, the host of America Says, John Michael Higgins.
He played Letterman in The Late Shift, damn it.
Now hold on. I can't be the only one who remembers that John Michael Higgins voiced Mentok on Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law.
Playing Robin from Baywatch, Brandy Roderick. Episode 37, Joey and the Christmas Party. Joey finds out Alex is in love with him while he throws a Christmas party. John Michael Higgins returns as Albert. Gregory Harrison returns as Dean. Brandy Roderick returns as Robin. Episode 38, Joey and the Snowball Fight. Joey wants to be with Alex, but she is dating Dean. The action figure of Joey's character has problems. Gina thinks she's pregnant, and Jimmy must deal with the prospects of being a father.
Now, as somebody who's collected a lot of action figures, I'm curious what kind of problems this action figure has.
Usually it's a messed up face. It looks nothing like the guy.
Oh, I've seen a lot of those.
Episode 39, Joey and the Dad. Joey flies his dad in for his movie premiere, but his dad disapproves of Joey's career. Joey is oblivious to this until Alex tells him. Joey's billboard is right next to Carmen Electra's, which is getting a lot more attention than his.
Oh, gee, I wonder why.
Robert Costanzo is back as Joseph Tribbiani Sr., and Carmen Electra is back as herself. Episode 40, Joey and the Party for Alex. Joey's feelings for Alex grow stronger. Dean throws a party for Alex's 30th birthday and plans to propose. Meanwhile, Gina and Jimmy decide to get tattoos together.
No, that is not a good idea. Especially if you're running for U.S. Senate in Maine about 20 years later.
Episode 41, Joey and the Big Move. Joey finally moves into his house, but a fire destroys it. Jimmy learns that he is Michael's father, and he and Joey try to get Michael's DNA without him knowing, so they can conduct a paternity test.
Where's Maury when you need him?
Simon Helberg returns as Seth. Adam Goldberg returns as Jimmy. And playing in an uncredited role, a guy by the name of Arthur Masioka from Heroes in Hawaii Five-0.
Oh, okay. This was, of course, right after his epic cameo in Austin Powers and Goldmember. If you know, you know.
Episode 42, Joey and the Beard. Joey dates a famous actress, Edie, but doesn't know she only needs him as a beard. While Jimmy moves in with Gina. Episode 43, Joey and the Critic. Joey's movie is getting great reviews, except one critic gives it a 0%. The critic turns out to be an 11-year-old girl.
Oh. I thought you were going to say the critic turns out to be Dave Meltzer and that it didn't take place in the movie at the Tokyo Dome. So it gets 0 stars.
Greg, you literally stole that from my mind. I was hoping I was going to say it, but I'm glad you did, making a Dave Meltzer joke there. Then it turns out to be an 11-year-old girl.
Joey starts his own production company and hires Jimmy, but things do not go well. And Alex breaks up with Dean, but needs Joey to be her friend. Episode 20, Joey in the Actors Studio. Joey appears on Inside the Actors Studio. There, Alex learns how badly Joey has treated some women in the past and is unsure that she wants to go out with him. Joey and Jimmy sign up for a clinical trial for testing new medicine so Jimmy can afford a ring to propose to Gina.
Okay, let me just guess. If it's Inside the Actors Studio, appearing as himself on Inside the Actors Studio, of course, James Lipton.
I meant to mention this earlier, but this is a good time to actually say this. The Celebrity Poker Showdown episode and now this episode have a certain commonality in terms of both being on Bravo, but also think about the parent company that would have owned Bravo and NBC at this point.
And playing a character named Maureen, Stephanie Weir from Mad TV and Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Penultimate episode, Joey and the Holding Hands. Joey's sexual relationship with Alex is great, but he wants a deeper connection. Michael meets a woman online named Sexy Steve 87.
Wait, what? He met a woman online, and her name was Sexy Steve 87.
Yes.
Maybe Steve is an alteration or a variation on Stephanie.
How would you know?
I'm just coming up with a logical, rational explanation. I know nothing of what you're talking about.
After Gina accepts Jimmy's proposal, she learns he is already married.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh what? I don't like the sound of uh-oh.
Okay, we've had too many uh-ohs this episode.
This is just one giant uh-oh of a TV show. What can I say? Playing a character by the name of Tracy, Julia Sweeney. Pat from the sketches on SNL.
Now we get to the final episode.
Joey and the wedding. After Alex gets really excited about planning the wedding, Joey thinks she wants to get married. However, it turns out she doesn't ever want to get married. Michael thinks he's the best man, even though Jimmy asks Joey. And Jimmy and Gina both get cold feet right before the wedding. Kevin Bright blamed both the studio and the network, saying, quote, "On Friends, Joey was a womanizer, but we enjoyed his exploits. He was a solid friend, a guy who knew you could count on him. Joey was deconstructed to be a guy who couldn't get a job, couldn't get a girl out. He became a pathetic, mopey character." End quote. Fast forward to the Friends reunion 15 or so years later, where Kevin Bright doubled down. He said, quote, "I'm the producer of the show, and that storyline did not do service to the character. Joey should have come out to Hollywood and have the time of his life. It should have been far more an entourage than it was this family Joey needs to grow up show. And we would have had discovered new parts for Joey in the process. It would have been a lot more fun than the nerdy nephew and the barking sister." Season 1 of Joey was released on DVD in 2006. Season 2 was released in 2008 in Canada, one of the many markets that aired the series in its entirety, along with Brazil, New Zealand, Australia, and the UK. But Warner Brothers put them on the Friends YouTube channel.
Yeah, so they're all available to stream for free on YouTube if you have the urge to watch. I don't know why you would, but there they are. NBC thought they would have the best spinoff of all time. But they learned, as CBS learned with Aftermath, that it would just be another thing on TV.
You can find us at our website, itwasathingontv.com, on Facebook at It Was a Thing on TV Podcast, and elsewhere at It Was a Thing on TV. You can find us on any podcast player, and we're also on YouTube, where you can subscribe to our channel to keep up to date with our releases, including what's coming up next time.
Next week, we're celebrating the birthdays of two people that we hold near and dear on this podcast. So our first birthday celebration next week is going to be about an individual who hosted a show around the mid-2000s that we hold near and dear to our hearts. And guys, it's going to be all about the $1 Million Dancers. Y'all know how excited I am about that. And also, we're going to salsa. And you'll learn more about that in our next episode of It Was a Thing on TV coming Tuesday. Thank you for listening. I'm Greg. That was Chico and that was Mike. We'll see you with that episode, the first of two, on Tuesday. Wow!
Hey.
Now, we know with the money cards, we mention this from time to time, of course, there's $28,800 that could conceivably be won up there. That's a lot of money, so as we always do with the young people, we have one of the parents come up, so we're going to invite Mitch's father to come on up here and play the money cards with him. Hello there. You are? Very Silpa. Very nice to have you here with us. Got a fine young man there. You cut the money cards?
Yeah.
All right, let's get the Silpas over there to play the money cards. Let's wish them well. Come on, gang. Here we go. Sure, hop right on up there, Larry. The two of you can share that microphone as we deal out the cards that you cut. We're going to give you $200 of new money. You pocket that $200 you've already got, Mitch. You decide how you want to bet them. $200 on the second level. Minimum bet's $50 till you get to the top card, the big bet where you must risk at least half the money. Now, remember, unlike the main game now, we want to give you every opportunity, so if you get a tie, you don't lose. Your bet just carries over. All set?
Yeah.
Here we go. Here's $200. And, of course, also to help you along on that score, you can change your base card on each level if you need to. Thank you, Lois. We'll start Mitch off with 200 and a queen.
Good card. We're going to bet $150 lower.
$150, say the Silpas. Lower. Yes,
All
for
right.
the queen.
All of it higher.
Oh, they're gamblers. $700 if this card is higher, and it is for the king.
All of it lower.
And now a bigger bet with $700 lower. Yeah. $1,400. We move up to 10. Give you the other 200. Do you want the 10?
Change that card.
Did well on the first level. How are they going to do in this level? Starting with a 3.
$1,500 higher.
$1,500 higher than a 3 and 8.
All of it lower.
Trying to double that 3,100. Yes, but it's still a good card with 6,200.
$5,000 lower.
$5,000 in the turn of this card. Come on, be there lower. Yes! Already $11,200, and we move up.
Change that card.
You made
Change
a great
it.
change before. Let's see a good change right now. Small conference. It's a lot of money, gang. I don't blame you.
$11,000 lower, higher.
$11,000. Is this card higher than a 3? Yes! $22,200. Larry, not too shabby. Come on down here with me. Way to go, Larry. That took a lot of guts. And with the 200 in the game, Mitch, I think you about took care of college right now. $22,400. We'll be back with a second match with Mitch and Gina. We might be able to do it again right after this.
And